I'm Dr. David Beaulieu, and I'm back with more news you can use. I'd like to talk to you for just a couple of minutes about good fat, bad fat. My videographer asked me a question after my very last news you can use talking about Alzheimer's and fat. It was kind of a comical video. I was talking about how Alzheimer's might save us from cancer and heart disease and diabetes, as well as Alzheimer's, if we take an honest preventive approach. And afterwards he said, well, you know, what about the bad fats out there? And that's what we've been taught. We've been taught that a lot of this fat is bad, especially saturated fat. Bad stuff, butter, ooh, bad stuff. And it isn't. If nature made it, and it's organic, it's natural, there are no bad fats. Can I say that more? Let me do it one more time. There are no, read my lips, no bad fats. Now, when we mess around with fat and we want to make a processed food, we want to put a Twinkie, that's going to go rancid, right? You put it on the shelf, bacteria, fungi are going to eat that Twinkie. Put a Twinkie on the shelf, come back 5 years later. It's just as edible as, well, inedible, but it looks exactly the same. It hasn't changed in 5 years, and there's a reason for it. We've processed the fat so that it no longer attracts oxygen. Once you do that, it doesn't go rancid. But when that fat goes into your body and is used inside the cell wall to attract oxygen, it can't attract oxygen because it's saturated. And that's really, really important. So, and we're looking at a primary contributing cause to cancer, heart disease, diabetes, when we're talking about oxidation, when we're talking about fat, when we're talking, because we're talking a high-fat diet, we're talking about a low sugar diet, that's automatic. And our government has told us for 40 years, low fat. Well, low fat is high sugar. And that's why we've got the diabetes. We didn't have the diabetes type 2 40 years ago like we've got today. What's caused the cancer epidemic? What's caused the heart disease epidemic? What's caused the dementia epidemic? We have the boys behind the white coats. I've got to take some responsibility here too. But I've been preaching against the low-fat, high-sugar diet for 46 years I've been in practice, because it didn't make any sense then, and it doesn't make any sense now. Whenever the food processors process food that has shelf life, they've done something to the fat. So we take the trans fats off the market. Food's still sitting on the shelf. Food is still, they're still making Twinkies, and they don't go rancid any faster than they used to. We're using different methods to inactivate the rancidity chemical reaction, the oxidation reduction reactions. It doesn't make any difference how we do it. When we mess with fat, we make it bad, we make it dangerous, we make it real dangerous. We make it to the point where it contributes to heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, and diabetes. Natural fat, nature-made fat is healthy. We need a lot more of it, not 10%, which is what the government has recommended. What the authorities are now talking about, the people who really know what's going on in the world of fat, people like Dr. Enig, Mary Enig, PhD, world-known authority on fat. 50 to 70% of our daily caloric intake should be in healthy fat. 50 to 70% healthy fat. Oh my goodness. I think we answered the question.